Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, today we are diving into one of the most famous stories ever told. But here's the thing. What if it's not really a love story? What if it's actually about a chain reaction of terrible mistakes? We're talking about Romeo and Juliet, a story of passion? Yeah, but also some seriously bad timing and ultimately a huge tragedy.
So, how in the world did this legendary love story turn into literature's biggest tragedy? That's what we're going to unpack. We're going to follow the chain of events, every choice and every twist of fate that led to total disaster. It's like watching a series of dominoes fall, one right after the other.
All right, so let's set the scene. We're in Verona, Italy, and this city has a serious problem. It's basically poisoned by this massive feud between two super powerful families. And I'm not talking about a little squabble. This is a grudge that's been going on for generations.
So you've got two sides. On one team, you have the Montagues, that's Romeo's family, and on the other, the Capulets, Juliet's family. And these guys hate each other. We're talking so much hatred that it spills out into these insane street brawls, making life dangerous for, well, pretty much everyone.
Okay, so right in the middle of all this chaos, we meet Romeo Montague. And he's all mopey and lovesick, but get this, it's not even about Juliet yet. He's heartbroken over someone else. So what does he do? He decides to crash a party at the house of his family's biggest enemies, the Capulets. He and his friends throw on some masks, hoping nobody will notice them.
He's not there to start a fight, but then he sees her, Juliet Capulet. And bam, the connection is immediate, it's powerful, and you have to understand, in this world that's just filled with hate, their very first conversation is, well, it's pure poetry. I mean, literally. Their first words to each other form a perfect sonnet. It's this incredible moment of connection in just about the worst place imaginable.
So they're totally swept up in this new love, right? But they also know it's completely impossible. Do they slow down? Nope. Instead, they make a super bold, super impulsive, and, yeah, super dangerous decision.
You know the iconic balcony scene? That's when they decide they absolutely cannot live without each other. So what's the plan? Get married. In secret, of course. They go to the one person they think might help them, Friar Lawrence, and he agrees. But he has his own very specific and maybe a little naive reason for doing it. And this is really the friar's whole deal. He's not just caught up in the romance of it all. No, he sees a political angle. He's thinking, hey, maybe this marriage, this secret alliance, could actually be the thing that ends this horrible family feud once and for all. It's a huge gamble on his part. But all that hope for peace, that idea that love could fix everything, yeah, that gets completely demolished in one single violent moment. This is it. This is the point of no return. The event that sends the entire story hurtling towards tragedy. Okay, so remember Juliet's cousin Tybalt? He's got a really short fuse, and he is still mad about Romeo crashing that party. So he finds Romeo and challenges him. But Romeo's like, whoa, hold on, I can't fight you because, they're secretly family now. But Romeo's best friend, Mercutio, sees this and thinks Romeo's being a coward. So he steps in to fight Tybalt instead, and, well, this is where the dominoes really start to fall.
So Mercutio gets fatally wounded. And as he's dying, he says these famous words. What's so powerful is that he's not a Montague or a Capulet. He's just caught in the middle of their stupid fight. And he curses both of their houses. It's this absolutely chilling moment that basically tells you, hey, things are about to get so much worse for everyone.
So what happens to Romeo for killing Tybalt? He doesn't get executed. He gets banished. And for Romeo, that is a fate worse than death. Being exiled from Verona means being exiled from Juliet. It's like a living death sentence for him.
Okay, so with Romeo out of the picture, things just spiral out of control, fast. Juliet's parents decide she's going to marry this other guy, Paris, like right now. She is completely trapped. So, in total desperation, she runs back to Friar Lawrence for one last, wild, high-stakes gamble. And the friar's plan is, wow. It is insanely risky. It's this delicate house of cards that depends on perfect timing, perfect communication, and a whole lot of good luck. I mean, every single piece has to fall into place exactly right or the whole thing collapses. And it all comes down to this one number, 42. 42 hours. That's how long the sleeping potion will work. It'll make Juliet look dead for exactly that long. The entire plan, all their hopes, it all hangs on that very specific window of time. It was a crazy plan, for sure. A real long shot.
But you know what? It almost could have worked. Almost. But, as we're about to see, the whole thing comes crashing down because of one critical failure, one message that doesn't get through.
And this is where it all goes horribly wrong. The single most important letter in the entire story, the one explaining the whole fake death plan, never makes it to Romeo. Why? In the worst possible twist of fate, the messenger gets stuck in quarantine because of a plague outbreak. Just unbelievable timing. So instead of getting the real story, Romeo gets the absolute worst news from his servant, who has no idea what's really going on. Juliet is dead.
So Romeo, completely heartbroken, thinking Juliet is gone forever, he drinks poison and dies right next to her. And the tragedy is he dies just moments, seconds maybe, before she starts to wake up. She opens her eyes, sees her dead husband beside her, and with nothing left to live for, she takes his dagger, and that's it. The final, awful domino has fallen.
When their bodies are discovered, the whole secret story just comes pouring out. The friar tells him everything. And finally, the Montagues and the Capulets are forced to look at what their stupid, pointless hatred has actually done.
And faced with this unimaginable tragedy, they finally stop fighting. They end the feud, but nobody's celebrating. It's what's called a gloomy peace. Yeah, there's peace now, but it's a peace that was bought and paid for with the lives of their kids. It's the saddest victory ever.
So, what's the big takeaway here? This story isn't just about two kids falling in love. It's a huge warning. It's a cautionary tale about what happens when hate is allowed to run wild. That ancient grudge wasn't just some background detail. It was the engine driving the whole tragedy. It was the real villain of the story. And all of this leaves us with one last big question that people have been arguing about for centuries. Was it fate? Were these star-crossed lovers just doomed from the very beginning with no way out? Or was it choice? Did a series of bad decisions, bad luck, and really, really bad timing seal their fate? What do you think? It's something that makes this story so powerful even today.